just I want to give you a brief sort of why and how I started writing about this. After having written my poetic memoir on still waters, which is about, how a family copes with the tragedy of seeing another member facing Alzheimer's. So I just sort of I started contemplating on the fact that, about the gradual progression of life and how it is so evident among all living species. And all this kind of the curveballs that it throws, the cycle of life that we see in the seasons, the gentle transformation of, spring into full bloom of summer, slow fading of bright hues into subtle tones of fall, and then uh, the sketchy cold season of winter. So all this was kind of an enigma and all unsolved mystery. It still is. So I thought, I wanted to pen down a few lines in the shape of poems. And they, and I was also, what hit me most, that life is a fleeting shadow. It leaves telltale marks of its existence behind. And I tried to speak passionately about the limitations of mortal life and the longing to transcend its true meaning and to beat the odds. So the couple of lines which I would like to quote by poets like Shakespeare and Bernard Shaw before I begin my humble contribution. So Shakespeare in the play Macbeth, which you all would have read, life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets this hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. So that set me thinking. So my poems try to reflect a lot of positivity and optimism and nudge the reader to live to the fullest. Another quote is by George Bernard Shaw. Life is no brief candle for me. It is a short of splendid torch, which I have got hold of for the moment. And when I want to make it burn as brightly as possible before handing it on to future generations, I do so. So I think this is something which I would like to echo in my poems. Okay, so here goes my poem. I start off with, again, a quote by an anonymous writer. The rhythm of life is intricate, but only is intricate and tenacious, but fragile. To keep that in mind is to hold the key to survival. So the first poem is titled Chunk After Chunk. Time gnaws away chunk after chunk, its invisible hand knobbing us of years we yearn for today. There are no replays nor any save buttons to click. The gay abandon of childhood is gone, our dreams unfulfilled. The raw adventure of youth, when adrenaline overflows, splutters out too soon, too fast. Time races on, one milestone after another, crossed in a blur, the flicker of an eyelid before we catch our breath. We are now ripe with wisdom, mellow with age, gray and shriveled. We slow down, having traveled afar. A small chunk of a journey remains that we cling on to, never letting go. Thank you. And the music plays on. Summer takes a silent vow. The last showdown begins, days shorten, and the sun no longer lingers across the horizon. Nature dances to a different melody, soft and subtle. A strong breeze sweeps across the jaded landscape and yellow leaves waltz towards the ground for foxtrotting to sink into the limp grass. A gray furry squirrel scampers away towards a lone cherry tree, days leading into months and years that roll by while I remain oblivious to everything. It's only when my hair is peppered gray, My skin is a wrinkled parchment, and my bones creak like a rusty hinge of a door. Will I realize that time is ticking by? I know I have to live to the fullest. Thank you. Pug marks. The silent park stretches before me, clad in swatches of snow etched with pug marks, maybe of a deer sauntering in the soft snow. It is night, and the sky burns with the cold glow of stars, pockmarking its inky dark fabric. Little pools of light, lost in wilderness, circle lamps that stand like solitary sentinels, frigid and frozen. The wind howls like an anguished soul as we snuggle close to the dying embers of fire in our log cabin, the flames casting an eerie glow on our faces. Bony fingers of leafless branches poke the grey fabric of January sky. There is a dull ache in my heart of memories, some hurt like jabs of knife, others fresh and lingering, like sun-kissed petals, so fleshy and soft. Well, I can think that's what life is, full of flowers, fragrance, and thorns. Thank you. Just after midnight. It is just after midnight. The shanty town, blanketed by snow, lies in deep slumber, while the one-eyed moon watches embedded in its starry slate. The silence is suffocating, broken by the occasional hooting of an old barn owl. Just around the bend, hidden behind the frost-sprayed firs, lies a pond still, not frozen. Night breeze sweeps across the bulrushes, shaking their fronds, sends shadows fleeting across the still waters. A rippled reflection of a distant star breaks into 1,000 sparkles. The magic spell begins. I wonder, who is the magician? Pondering. In the wintry haze of dusk, silhouettes of city buildings stand like ghostly specters, the fading rays of the sun glinting on glass facades send angular shadows on the road below. I drive on a highway with no one in sight. Pick up speed, the dark veil of the night slowly descends upon me. Just a change of scene. Can I get one more poem?
Oh, you have lots of time. Yeah, lots of time. So as many as you'd like.
A riddle that is life. It is that time of year when a cool whiff of breeze brushes past your hair, twirls the wild daisies into a crazy dance, while the green canvas of the ground is spray-washed with wispy dandelions and straddling raspberry bush. Like the doe smells the day, I smell fall in the air. You say it is not even around the corner. I say, can you not feel it in the sighing of the willow and the deep rustle of the maple trees? Can you not see the sun dipping low to make shadows linger sooner than usual? Darkness, like a giant eagle's wings, wraps around the earth, whose tilt is programmed to this hour, this minute, by an unknown hand. You and me are programmed to travel this journey uncharted, winding at times exciting, and at other times forbidding. Where we go, when we go, how we go, and how far we go is a riddle that is life. Introspection. Lost in a dream, I see fields of green on the distant hills rise and fall. Waves crash in on the shores of my mind, sucking me into whirlpools of my past that ended in a loveless marriage. I rise again, sitting cross-legged atop a hill, halted, bathed in sunlight. Days shorten and the sky is blurred. Poplars are flaming torches ablaze. Their lengthening shadows shiver over hills. Fall puckers the last few leaves of maples. Valleys speckled yellow and gold. There's a strange stillness, almost eerie. I slow down, ponder, and get lost, trying to find myself. The road I see is a lonely one. I cling to memories like a child clings to her Barbie doll. Till the race is won. My eyes are glazed with cataracts. My skin is a wrinkled parchment hanging over a bag of bones. I walk with shuffled gait, knees bent like a question mark. Words tumble out incoherent and hollow. Yet I live like I have never lived before. I know that I'm no longer what I used to be. I know that as time passes, each progression where nears the last lap, my cataract vision becomes a blur. Let me pursue, let me pause, savor every moment, cherish every slice of memory. Let life become a forever blooming garden. Thank you. I think I'll end with that. Thank you so much for giving me the time to read my short little poems.